It's me, I'm back. Yes, Senior Nobleman with another of the Noble Corner. Welcome. You ain't heard about this show. You know what I do. I talk about film, TV, and all that sort of stuff because I like watching it. I'm not saying I sit down and vegetate and watch it all the time. I watch it on the move. I have other stuff to do, but I try to fit it in. That's all I'm saying. I enjoy the art form. I enjoy it. But anyway, today I'm here to talk about a Netflix original. New film came out in 2020. I'm talking about Old Guard. Yes, Old Guard, starring Charlize Theron. New film came out on Netflix recently. And yes, I will give you the backstory. It's about a bunch of people, including Charlize Theron, who are immortal, effectively. They can be killed or harmed, but they can't die. And it's about their kind of story through the ages as they've had an effect on the world. It moves up to sort of like now, the current time, and they're being tracked. And someone wants to find them so they can find out what are the secrets to immortality. And then obviously things go wrong, they're being hunted themselves. They're actually an elite kind of team. They've had years and years of fighting, training, and skills, and they kind of do assassinations or do espionage in order to kind of move things nicely move on things for the world, or right injustices, or do things which are kind of like beneficial to the world, but not knowing how it really connects with one another. So you got Charlize Theron in there as the main character. You also have my guy Chiwetel Ejiofor. If you haven't, Chiwetel Ejiofor has been in loads of films. Half a Yellow Sun. He's been in what's that one? 2012, and of course 12 Years a Slave. Chiwetel's been in there, and also Inside Man. So very good actor in there, and always comes up with a performance which is kind of like quite regal and kind of stern but stoic, but at the same time he's able to convey emotion when needs to, and I've always liked him. So yeah, he's in there. You've got a bunch of other people that I don't really know. I think they're kind of, I don't really know their names in it, but I know there's a new lady coming up called Kiki, Layne. She's in there, a very beautiful black lady, and she's one of the new immortals. And it's kind of, the story follows her as well as her journey to finding out that she's actually immortal and can't be killed, and then kind of being then sort of factored into this new team. So because they're being tracked, they've got to find who's tracking them and stop it from happening. The big bad is this guy, what's his name? Harry Melling. Now, Harry, I believe, was in like Harry Potter, and he's very Harry Potter looking, if that makes sense. He's the big bad in there. And basically he runs a pharmaceutical company who wants to get the keys to immortality, so it's track these people. So he's the bad guy. Now, let me just talk about the performances a little bit. Charlize Theron does her kind of, it's like watching Mila Jovovich. She's moved more into like these action genres with Atomic Blonde, this film, and and Mad Max. She's perfectly good at it and everything, but with her, it's just like, yeah, okay. It's good to see the action scenes, but I don't see her. It's not like she's taking off a performance like she did in the film Monster, where she won the Oscar. So it's she was okay as a protagonist. But what I really, obviously Chiwetel was in there, and like I said, stoic, strong, kind of, a go-to character to say, yeah, this is a solid performance. He never lets down, really, does he? But the guy that played the antagonist, Harry Melling, I was not convinced by him in the slightest. Like, it's just like this gangly, flimsy-looking pharmaceutical dude who just like, I want to get to immortality so I can sell it. And it's just like, this is like some Resident Evil story, man. Umbrella Corporation. I'm like, come out of here with that. I just was not convinced by him and like the resources he had. And then you had a guy, don't know if heard of him, Joey Anza. He was in The Bourne Ultimatum. He played Desh, character, very physical, who fought Matt Damon's Jason Bourne and lost, but yeah. That fight scene was the biggest thing in Bourne Ultimatum, and I felt in this film he was in there as like a sort of security detail, the head security detail for the bad guys, and he was just underused, man. He was just underused, like Joey Enza, man. This guy's a martial arts specialist, and I just thought he was underused in it. So it started to, you know, come out with a few problems. Now, looking at the film, the message or whatever it was trying to say, there wasn't really any underlying message which is about humanity. But I think what was focused in it, what it tried to focus on was that these things that these immortals had done over the centuries and they're fighting, they had wide implications on the world. Like they saved the life of a doctor whose son then turned out to get the cure for malaria or something like that. It was that kind of saying that, you know, these kind of butterfly effect actions they had done had positive effects on the world. And the good thing was that they tried to explain it with Chiwetel Ejiofor's character, who had been tracking them over the centuries, well, not over the centuries, but over time, and basically he had put these connections all together and made a big drawing board of it all to see how they had affected the world. And it was more like it gave them purposes into what they were doing. And then I suppose the other thing was about I said that they are immortal, but they're not effectively immortal because they can lose their immortality, and no one understood why that was. And Charlize Theron's character had lost her immortality because she wasn't healing from her wounds, and that was like a pervasive thing going on through it throughout the film. And you find out that she's losing her immortality, so she's gonna die. But this new girl who came on board is now gonna take over and whatnot. So, and yeah, Charlize Theron was the oldest one anyway. So yeah, but yeah, this plot line and then anything sort of like that jumped out to me. There wasn't much. It was more of an action caper. You know, people watch it to see, you know, the action scenes and, you know, the whole immortality thing is a sci-fi element to keep you enthralled. But in the end, it was just a film. And there's not really much I can say other than I'm going to give this one 3 aces out of 5 because it was a worth a watch. You know, new film, 2020, immortals, sci-fi, a bit of fighting. I like them sort of things. But again, it was nothing that, you know, jumps out to me. I'll probably watch it again, but not in the next. It's not very soon. It's not got a lot of rewatch value. But maybe like 5 years down the line, I'll watch it. But again, definitely worth it for about a 3. It's a Sunday afternoon or Saturday night, maybe, unless you've got anything better. But yeah, that was Old Guard. It was okay. 3 aces out of 5. And that has been your review on Old Guard, Netflix special, Charlize Theron, Chiwetel Ejiofor, and Harry Melling or whatever. And yeah, that's what I've got to say about it. And that's been another review from the Noble Corner. Being your host, Senior Nobleman. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and get the notifications because we're here all day talking about, not all day, but talking about TV, movie, and film. So anyway, peace.